Hey y'all, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, y'all. This is Hillbilly Row and I am Hillbilly Row. And today we are going to make Indian bread. Some people might call this naan bread, but we call it Indian bread. Now this is a stovetop bread. Garlic in it. So it calls for minced garlic. So that's what we're going to do, because we want that little texture of garlic to go with our Indian bread. So we're going to make some homemade pan-fried bread, whatever you call it, it's bread. So if you haven't yet liked or subscribed to our page, please do so, we appreciate it. But we're going to bring you on down here, we're going to show you what we're doing. And here we are. So this we will be doing by hand. So you are going to want 1/4 cup of warm water. And you're going to put that in there. You're going to want 1 teaspoon of sugar. And we're going to mix that in with the warm water. And then you're going to want 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. So this is active dry yeast. And we're going to put that in here. Now we're going to give that a little stir. I forgot my fork. Give that a little stir. Now a good way to tell if your yeast is done or still good, when it's mixed like this, it's going to proof for 10 minutes. And what that means is this little bowl is going to get foamy. Y'all can't see that little bowl. This little bowl will get foamy. So we have that. Now in this bowl we have 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and I sift my flour. But the reason why I sift my flour is because I store it in my pantry with bay leaves. So I always sift my flour to make sure there's no bay leaves. And then you're going to want 2 or 1.5 teaspoons of salt. And I'm using pink Himalaya, whatever you say that word is, that pink salt. I don't know if I got it. So I'm just going to make sure that's mixed in there. And as you're doing this, you're also aerating the flour again. So we're just going to make sure that salt gets in there mixed real good, because you want it to come out. You don't want one little piece to be like, oh, I just licked a salt lick. If anything, because kids, we'd go out in the field with the cows and stuff, and we'd see one of them salt lick things. Well, we never believed they were made of salt. Well, guess what? We licked it. So we're just going to sift this, and then we'll be back in 10 minutes after this proofs. And we're back, and the magic of that is, look, this is what it looks like when your yeast proofs. So we're going to pour that in here. And your yeast should always proof. If it does not proof, your yeast is bad. And you might want to get more yeast. Well, you would need to get more yeast in order to use it. Some people buy those yeast packs, but I don't. So there is my yeast. Next, I'm going to add in 3/4 cup of yogurt. Now this is just plain yogurt. So we're going to drop that in there. We have 2 where's the oil? 2 teaspoons, and this is all our avocado oil. And then we're going to add in 3/4 cup of warm milk. Now this will be milk like you would give a baby. It's got to be warm. Not hot, not scalding, just warm. So I'm going to go in here and start mixing this. We're going to do this whole entire process by hand, because not everybody has a stand mixer, and not everybody has other instruments in their home. Let me get that out of there, because I don't want that one. I want a wooden spoon. So I want a wooden spoon, and I'm going to mix this in there. I'm just trying to make sure I don't have none of that other stuff in here that I need, because it is a very good recipe. So you're just going to mix this in here until it forms a dough. It's not hard, it's a lot of arm work. But if you don't have a stand mixer, and this is the only way you can do it, if you don't have electricity, because I have a gas stove and we went out without electricity before because of storms, and I was still able to cook. So this is one way that you could still make your bread. Or, yeah, it's bread, it's Indian bread. So I have butter that I leave set out for breads and stuff. I think this is going to take a little bit more liquid because it's humid out, y'all. Today it's awful out. When I say it's awful, I mean it's awful. It's going to get up to 100 is what they said. But now I'm going to get my hands in here and I'm going to work that, because that will break up the rest of that flour into that dough. Make sure you have a floured surface or a place where you can put down flour, because you're going to knead this until it becomes smooth. And what that means is you're going to get in here and you're going to just knead this bread until you break down the chemical balance of the flour in with the liquid. I can't think of the name of it right now. So I'm going to move this bowl. I'm going to put that there for now. It's a big word. That's probably why I can't remember it. Y'all know I'm a hillbilly. Now you don't need a lot of flour. You just need a little bit. We're going to move this around. And we're going to knead it. And this might take 3 to 5 minutes. It depends. What my sister always says, count to 150 when you're kneading it. So once you get that formed and it comes out pretty, looking like that, see how soft it looks? That's when you know you have all of the gluten in your flour blended in with the rest. And that's what happens when you're massaging your flour, you're breaking down the glutens, helping them form with the liquid. I think that's the correct terminology. So I'm going to take a little bit of avocado oil and put it in my bowl. And this is a bleach towel, so don't even try me. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil in my bowl. I'm going to take my dough, I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to mix it around a little bit just to get dough on all of it. This way, when I put my towel over it, I'm going to leave it for 1 hour. Well, I'm not going to do a towel because somebody might not have a towel, but you might have plastic wrap. So we're going to put plastic wrap over it. And let it rise for 1 hour. Now, if you have to go to the store or something, it's fine to let it rise more. But we're going to let this rise for 1 hour. And then we'll be back to turn it into little balls to turn into our Indian bread. So this Indian bread that I'm making, we're going to put diced chopped garlic in it. So I just wanted to show you, in case some people didn't know, how you take a whole clove of garlic, you smash it down like that, and then that peeling should just peel right off. because to me that's not, I don't need the root system, just the garlic. Then you just take your garlic and you just go turn it to the side and just go up and down it. That's all I do with mine. And you want little pieces. That way somebody don't bite into a big chunk. Not that my husband would care, because in the wintertime he makes us eat whole garlic. He smashes garlic cloves like I just did, and he'll cut it a little bit. And he uses that as a natural remedy anytime you feel sick or anything. If you do that, honestly, it does take out whatever's in your system, because garlic's a natural antibiotic. So here, and that's how we're going to do it with the bread. So now that our bread has doubled, we're going to take our little plastic wrap off and we're going to punch that down. And yes, I have my rings back on. Y'all, I can't live without my rings. So we're going to turn it out. Give it a couple good smacks because it's been a dirty piece of bread. We're going to push it down. 3. They don't have to be even, because you fry these on the stovetop. 4. I don't know why I'm counting. I just need to pull. So what I do is I usually take my thumb and my finger and I put in there and I squeeze it up. But I've hurt my finger, so it's kind of, and I'm right-handed. I'm not left-handed. My sister's left-handed. My husband's left-handed. They'll never be right. So I'm just going to mix this one in with that. We're going to roll it out into a ball. As close as you can get it to a ball. Because these are going to be rolled out. So you got 1, 2, 3. I got 9 pieces. But that's enough for me and Mr. D. So next, you want to grab your rolling pin or something round that you can roll it out on. And you want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now I find it just as easy to grab that bread and pull it. But if you can't do it this way, get your rolling pin. And these don't, some of them's going to be bigger, some of them's going to be smaller. And that's okay. They don't have to be perfect. Remember, everything you make from your kitchen is made with love. And I just go around and I feel the edges, and if they've come down a little bit, and see, that's perfect. 1/4 of an inch thick. So this is how I do my Indian bread. Now I'm sure my ancestors back in the day did not have a rolling pin, because it just, there's 3. This one's gonna be a big one, I can already tell. This one's gonna be a D piece. But honestly, Mr. D and I eat very, very little. He can make 4 pancakes and 2 of them fills us up, plus Sophia. Because I do feed my fur baby what I eat. Now here is where it's a little bit different. Let me grab another plate. That one will work. And because we're going to put garlic on these, what you're going to do is you're going to put it on your plate. Make sure it's even, y'all. You're going to grab you a little spoon, take you a little bit of garlic, and just put it over it. And you're going to push that garlic down. Now this is a cast iron pan. As you can see, my cast iron pan is very well seasoned. This thing's probably older than I am. And I ain't telling you my age. I'm 21 plus. So that's how we do that. And you just push that garlic down into it. Now, my cast iron pan should be pretty hot. So let's try it. When that starts bubbling, it's hot enough. And as you can see that little spot there, it's bubbling. So you take your bread and you just place it on there. Now if you're like me, you probably got 2 left feet and 1 brain cell on life support. And I tell you what, that brain cell on life support's always coding on me. That thing. So we just. Now I don't make my Indian bread thick, but I don't make it thin thick, if that makes sense. To me, it's thick enough. But we have chili left over for tonight, so we're going to have homemade pan bread with it. Now, if your cast iron pan is not seasoned, or your pan is not seasoned, you might want to take a little bit of butter and brush on the bottom of this. Which I have right here. And I have a butter brush over here. So I'm just going to brush a little bit of butter on top there. Because I know when I flip it, it's going to need help. Shit. Wash my hands. Always gotta wash your hands. If you cough or you sneeze or anything like that, wash your hands. You messing with food. Ain't nobody want your cooties. I don't even want Mr. D's cooties. So this is gonna, when it starts to cook, you're gonna notice that it bubbles up. So once it bubbles up, we know she's ready to flip. So while I'm waiting on those two, I'm going to go ahead and see how the bread goes back together. So sometimes as it rests, it rises a little bit again. So we're just going to do that, push her down, take a little bit of that garlic. We're actually going to do it with our hands because it's much easier to separate. And as you know, I have clean hands. I just washed them. Push that down in there. And see how she's bubbling up right there? You know, right there, she's ready to be turned. Now, while that side's getting cooked, I'm going to brush this side with some butter. And ooh, you can smell the garlic. Hot dog. Now, I don't know if my ancestors had garlic. I don't know what they had and what they didn't have, because, well, I haven't asked them. So see how it's bubbling up right here? She's ready to turn. And again, just wipe her down with garlic, or with butter, garlic. And it's going to take about 2 minutes on that side. And I'm just stretching that again, making sure it's stretched out good. I did chop up 8 cloves of garlic. And if you don't have a spoon, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you can always push that down in with your fingers. Nope, she's not done. But, you know, some people, I mean, when me and Mr. D first met, I didn't have we didn't even have a stove and refrigerator in our first apartment. We lived in a 2-room, well, plus the bathroom walk-up. And, Lord, that's been years. Going back 30 years. See how it's starting to get puffy here? That's when you know to flip it. And that's what she'll look like. And I always take a little butter and I run over this side. And if you want to be extra, you can lift that up. Take some butter. And that's just how I keep my skillet going good. Add a little bit of extra butter on that one. But when Mr. D gets home, I'll know because Sophia will run in here at me like a banshee in heat. Because she comes in to say, oh, I got lovins from Daddy first. That's what she says. There she goes. Oh, she went to the bedroom. Oh, I can't stand a dirty stove. I'm always wiping down something. I had somebody comment on one of my lives. You need to get rid of that dog. Well, that dog's my family, honey. That dog's my kid. You get rid of your kids, I'll get rid of my dog. Because to me, that's not a dog. That's a fur baby. And trust me, I'd rather see a lot of people go before her. So it's starting to get nice and toasty on that side too. We're just going to flip her, put a little bit more butter on her. Now y'all, I like butter. I ain't gonna lie, I like butter. I'm a hillbilly, I love butter. And don't you bring me none of that margarine crap. Give me butter or keep it to yourself. And see, she's done. And on that note, Mr. D is home, so I hope he comes in to try this for you. Oh. So Mr. D's here, y'all, and this is what it looks like.
Looks good.
When you have a hillbilly cooking on the stove. Some Indian fry bread. It's nice and soft and hot. So there is my better half, Mr. D.
Hey.
I'm the hillbilly. He's the Yankee. He was raised in Ohio, so he's a Yankee, y'all. So this one don't have garlic on it. These do. So which one you want to try?
I'll try either one. Let's try
You can try both.
a piece of the garlic.
Now, he ain't gonna lie. If it tastes like caca, he'll tell y'all.
Yeah.
Now try a little piece of that. That don't
I
have
like
garlic on it though. That's still hot, so watch your fingers.
Okay.
Don't burn your mouth. Well, let's get a towel over these. Because y'all, the flies in Kentucky are a mess. These dang fruit flies. I told you it's hot.
Yeah. I like it.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we never had that before. I like it a lot.
I've made it before, but I've made pan bread, but it's been a
Well,
while.
pan bread, yeah. Oh,
I never put garlic on it. But I
Yeah.
thought because we have the chili that I made yesterday,
mm-hmm.
we can have a little piece of garlic bread.
Yeah, be
And
good.
tomorrow we'll do chili spaghetti 5-way and show them how to do that
Okay.
out of the chili that we have left over. And look, Miss Thing's sticking her nose up there. Where's
Mhm.
mine? You gonna give her a piece?
Hmm?
Give her a piece of this one. She's kind of snooty though, y'all. If she don't eat it, I know it's bad.
You can give sometimes. Yeah, sometimes we go through the a drive-through, and they'll give her like one of those little dog milk bones, and she'll just, they're like trying to hand out the window to her, like, you don't understand, she's spoiled. We'll try, we'll try to get her to eat it here in a minute, and then a lot of times
She
That's
puts
the way-
them. She puts them under the front
Yeah.
seat and hides
Yeah.
them.
it's not like
So-
a normal dog.
No.
Just chow it down like.
No, Puss Puss was the same way. Puss Puss would put them on the front seat and hide them. I go clean out the car and there's 20 or 30 milk bones down there.
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't eat those either.
Mhm.
And Puss Puss was my dog. She was a Yorkie, and I called her Miss Puss Puss because she had a little mouth that looked like. I just killed a gnat. Look at ugh. So on that note, y'all, have a great day. God bless. Remember, always say your prayers. Even pray for your enemies. And thank y'all for watching. If you have yet liked and subscribed, please do so. We have all different kinds of recipes that come from his ancestors mostly, because my ancestors were stingy. No, I'm joking. I get recipes from cousins or aunts and uncles, but like my grandparents, I never got any recipes. But I got a whole bunch from his. So on that note, y'all have a great day. God bless. And until then,
We'll catch you in the next one.
bye.